Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering what is really going on with Angel Reese. Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you gotta be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
Angel Reese is
back to her daily routine. However, you are aware of the true significance of that if you have followed her career. IT was a season-ending wrist injury last year. It's a puzzling back problem now. And without her, the Chicago Sky just so happened to be winning more. Even though she's out due to a real groin injury, Caitlin Clark continues to set records and consistently plays for her team as they battle for a postseason berth. Is Reese truly injured then? Or is this the WNBA's most predictable disappearing act to date? And after being discovered resigning on the Sky, how has she been humiliated? Comment Fire the Baby Giraffe below if you believe that this is just another republicity stunt. Come on.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi.
Angel Reese is back to her regular routine. At this point, fans could nearly memorize the screenplay. It's the same ambiguous updates, the same disappearing act, and the same timing that just so happens to coincide with Chicago's difficult circumstances. We've already seen this film. Before she was even in her mid-20s, she had surgery last year for what was purported to be a significant wrist fracture in order to prevent arthritis. Her season ended abruptly. No slow return. Don't try to end strong. Completed.
Hey, look, bruh, you gotta remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt, didn't show up for the championship game, didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up, didn't finish playing in none of the games. Now, this year, she's saying this season, it's her back. It looked like she's not finishing playing in none of the games. The Sky needs you. The Chicago Sky, you guys are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. They need Angel Reese to play in games. Angel, where you at? Where are you at, Angel? This is nuts.
The sequel is now available, and it concerns an enigmatic back injury. There was no precise schedule or reason, just that it appeared in the midst of yet another difficult stretch for the Skies. You can literally watch it happen by looking at the schedule. Large losses accumulate. The demands on her to make things better. Suddenly, she is not wearing her uniform. She is not even on the bench. The week that her status updates will become indefinite absences has become nearly predictable.
Reese! She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on? What's going on?
The most bizarre aspect is that she was unwilling to travel to Indianapolis for a game against the Fever, which is expected to be one of the WNBA's most popular ticket sales. This is the self-described IG girl of the league, missing out on the season's most intense rivalry. However, if you go back a few weeks, she was in Indiana for the All-Star game. She even staged a marketing ploy in which she pretended to have taken over Caitlin Clark's trap. All smiles, all cameras. Apparently, the back is good for drawing attention, but not for playing against Clark on the court. Many people are beginning to see that pattern.
Her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball. I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury. I proved my point before the All-Star game when I went on a 10-game run trying to justify being on the All-Star team. When that first ballot came out, when the first voting results came out about the All-Star game and I was 13th, holy cow, Angel Reese panicked, started playing hard, tried to put up some stats to justify being on the All-Star team, did that, And now she said, hey, the Chicago Sky sucked this year. Peace.
Naturally, conjecture then begins. Is this to prevent another high-profile setback for her brand? Is it about avoiding the games where she would be exposed in order to safeguard her numbers? The exchanges are not flattering. Commentators are already speculating that she has once again packed it in for the year.
Some are stating it outright.
She has quit.
She identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume. I'm going to have an excuse for the Chicago Sky potentially coming in with the worst or second worst record in the WNBA. These losses will not be on my resume.
2 seasons and 2 injuries, both occurring at the lowest point of her game's narrative. Conveniently, both eliminate the opportunity for anyone to observe whether she can endure a losing streak and still make a contribution. When such timelines are stacked side by side, it's difficult to ignore a tactic where others perceive misfortune. And this is when it becomes even more difficult to defend since the guys start playing like a real basketball team as soon as she leaves the lineup. At that point, the story transitions from suspect to quite implausible.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you no longer, you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double-double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year. You threw in the towel and said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year and didn't play again. This past the inaugural season of Unrivaled, you didn't even finish that season. You didn't even show up for the championship. No, not only did you not play, you didn't even show up to the game at all. People noticing a pattern with you. That's 2 seasons in a row.
The way the Sky markets Angel Reese is inconsistent with the win-loss column. The outcomes reveal something different about the person they promote as the franchise's face. When she's not around, they really have a better record. Additionally, the sample size is not that small. Without her, they are able to string together victories and steer clear of the careless defeats that keep them at the bottom of the standings. For a supposed cornerstone player, that is not a great look.
Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great. Burn! Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow. Yeah! Again, do it for me. Me bow. Burn!
All you need to do is observe what transpired when Chicago played Indiana without Caitlin Clark. With their leader out of the picture, everyone assumed the Fever would be vulnerable. Rather, Lexi Hull took over, scored 17 points, and finished with a plus 22 as Indiana soared. That's the same Sky team that hasn't been able to defeat Indiana in any situation this year. Because they trusted the game's flow, Hull, Boston, Mitchell, and Cunningham all clicked even when Clark was seated. Nobody was using negative images to support a brand.
Have to hurry, off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open 3. Oh, what a sight for Alexi Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Alexi Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2.
The chemistry of a team is simple. There are 2 types of players, those that improve everyone and those who cause problems. The ball moves more readily when Rhea is seated, and the numbers support this. When she doesn't post up or crash the boards out of position, Chicago's offensive doesn't stop. The guards genuinely control the sets rather than making repeated forced possessions. The shots are the result of good looks rather than late-night desperation heaves, and the wings cut hard.
What they do not understand is that coaches, and I know the WNBA in some regards isn't a real sports league, and I don't know if they think like real coaches and real people in sports, but the number one ability is availability. If you're not available, you have no value.
It's the traditional addition by subtraction scenario. It's also difficult to overlook the irony. Imagine taking out your alleged greatest player and seeing an improvement in the atmosphere as a whole. The increased spacing and faster speed when she's not on the floor have been noted by analysts. The bench appears to be more involved as well. Without explicitly stating it, coaches have implied that the team plays with greater urgency when each possession isn't directed through a single ego.
New strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses. Burn! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A rebound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
The biggest fraud in WNBA history begins to stay there. Being a real star makes you more difficult to defeat rather than easier. The players surrounding you are not the issue if your absence makes your team a more formidable opponent. You are the one. Regardless of how the media portrays it, it has become harder to dispute Chicago's superior basketball without her. Additionally, there is a stark contrast between that image and what is taking place in Indiana. Because Caitlin Clark's presence instantly transforms everything, while Reese vanishes and her team manages to win without her.
Clark appears to have a legitimate injury that everybody can trace to a moment and a time during the games where she re-aggravated. She originally injured. She had a comeback where it lasted 2 or 3 games, re-injured it. They've hinted at a time frame of late August that she may return. Nothing but a mystery surrounds Angel.
Caitlin Clark continues to appear while Angel Reese vanishes under yet another round of ambiguous injury bulletins. She is still in the arena, still wearing her jersey when she can, still locked in with her teammates, and still interacting with the fans despite having a real groin injury. She leads the league in average assists per game this season, averaging 16.5 points and over 9 assists per game. Figures that would be remarkable for a player in good health, let alone one who is injured. Additionally, those assists aren't inflated statistics when she's on the court. They are game-swinging difference makers.
Atlanta Fever destroy the Chicago Sky in Indianapolis on Saturday. Guess who wasn't there? Angel Reese. Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis, and her coach came out and said something about, she's just focused on her rehab right now, and, she's day to day. We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day-to-day, and Angel Reese has disappeared.
She has continued to rewrite records despite the injury. Additionally, Clark continues to travel with Indiana, in contrast to some players who take long daily breaks. Whether or not she is in the starting lineup, she is supporting her teammates on the bench, dissecting plays during timeouts, and truly participating in the battle. You can see her dedication, and more significantly, her team senses it.
Proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, they're resilient, they're connected, they pull for each other, they enjoy one another, they celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
The outcomes speak for themselves. With or without their most recent jersey, the Fever have defeated Chicago 4 times this season with no losses. The tone has been set by Clark's leadership in match after match. It's not just her, either. Aaliyah the Paint is being locked down in Boston. Kelsey Mitchell is a reliable source of goals. The tenacity of Sophie Cunningham transforms games. Big minutes are delivered by Lexi Hall. And Natasha Howard provides a seasoned presence that most teams would be thrilled to have. The foundation of this group is Clark's style, and it succeeds.
Yet again, the Indiana Fever face the Chicago Sky, and yet again, we whoop that. Oh boy. 92-70, it was a whole part.
Clark has been outspoken about winning multiple championships. She connects with the roster in a way that demonstrates her understanding of the long game. Ratings rise when she performs because of this. The attraction is her. The decline in viewership when she misses games has already been observed by sports media publications. In stark contrast, Reese's disappearance seems to go unnoticed by anyone outside of Chicago. Her absences don't result in stories that drive traffic. Clark's do. The point is reinforced by the constancy. Through all of the hoopla, defeats, and injuries, Clark has been there every night. Not only does Reese's disappearance look terrible, but it also highlights Clark's dependability. And if this rivalry ever reached in the realm of marketing, parity footing has become unavoidable due to the reality on the ground. The Indiana Fever are quietly assembling something that truly works while Angel Reese disappears into yet another round of mysterious injury bulletins. There is no mystery behind their stars' desire to play, nor is there any drama surrounding who will be attending. Rather, it's a well-defined strategy that is already advancing them.
What is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now, and this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in games, where she just stopped. She just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
There could not be a more stark contrast with Chicago. The same issues keep coming up in the Sky. A player who spends as much time in street clothes as she does in uniform is characterized by instability, inconsistent play, and a marketing push. Indiana's front office is adding appropriate pieces in the meantime. They're not rushing to find solutions. They're assembling a team of players that can win together for many years. Caitlin Clark has previously expressed her desire to win several titles. Additionally, it seems like more than just chatter when you see how the roster is developing. Aaliyah Boston has a strong online presence and is just going to get better. Kelsey Mitchell is a talented scorer who challenges opponents. Veterans like Sophie Cunningham and Natasha Howard are giving young players the kind of guidance they need to go far in the playoffs. All of the hustling plays are provided by Lexi Hall.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the offseason of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.
It's not an accident that youthful talent and veterans are mixed together. It is a blueprint. In addition to rewriting records, Clark's playmaking is establishing a system that makes use of everyone's skill set. It's winning basketball, quick and effective. The Fever are developing a core that appears more dangerous with each game, while other teams like Chicago spend their seasons controlling chaos and providing an explanation for absences. Additionally, the never-ending controversy in other cities seems even less significant when you observe that continuous rise. Caitlin Clark may be benefiting more from Angel Reese's ongoing injury mysteries than anyone else. Each time Reese disappears from view, Clark's influences glows even more brightly. Fans can see who is genuinely contributing, showing up, and advancing their team. The Fever are the squad to keep an eye on if you're concerned about the game's future. They have the skill, the strategy, and a leader who perseveres through difficult times. Therefore, consider if you support the players who are establishing a legacy or those who are holding on to a brand. Chicago is making excuses while Indiana is taking action. The decision is clear. Comment Fire the Baby Giraffe below if you believe that this is simply another Reese publicity gimmick. To ensure you never miss anything, like, subscribe, and enable all notifications. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the following.